Bill O'Reilly here, Friday, July 31st, last day of the month, 2020. You're listening to the O'Reilly Update. Here's what's happening today in America. Professional sports slowly returning to the country after months of chaos. Teams and fans still trying to figure out how to bring back the games without spreading COVID. So here's how things are shaping up. First, Major League Baseball, made it a week before the virus hit the Miami Marlins. At least 14 tested positive for the contagion, forcing the Yankees, Orioles, and Phillies to postpone games with the Marlins. Officials introducing new rules to speed up the games, the baseball games, like placing a runner at second base in extra innings so it doesn't go on and on and on. Now to the NFL. Football set to kick off September 10th in Kansas City. At least 6 players on the New England Patriots are refusing to play, and they have that right. The league and the union agreed that anyone considered high risk for COVID can sit out the season while still earning $350,000 for the season. Basketball returned this week, 22 teams competing in the so-called bubble. The NBA relocating all athletes and staff to Disney World in Orlando, where everyone is isolated in hotels on the property. No fans are allowed to watch the games. They'll be on TV, of course, and that's what this is all about, TV revenue. But players from other teams can watch the games because they've been bubbleized. Hockey returns August 1st, tomorrow. The NHL suspended its season nearly 150 days ago. 24-team postseason tournament will determine who heads to the Stanley Cup playoffs. The league is holding the competition in 2 cities, Toronto and Edmonton, Canada. The empty arenas will actually make the sport more interesting for viewers at home. The NHL is doubling the number of cameras typically used to create new angles for the fans. Again, TV revenue. Americans definitely ready to focus on something other than COVID and politics. More than 4 million folks tuned into baseball's opening night, shattering the previous record. Sports is a good diversion, a worthy thing for America. We need it. In a moment, listeners, sound off. Right back with it. As you may know, more than 44 million Americans have lost their jobs. The Fed just warned the recession may get worse. So I recommend you consider gold and silver. And the only company I recommend is American Hartford Gold Group. I trust them. I've done business with them. I recommend them. They sell physical gold and silver delivered right to your door or inside your IRA. And they make it easy. So please call them right now. And make sure you tell them that Bill sent you. And they will give you, ready? $1,500 of free silver on your first order. Since I've been recommending American Hartford Gold Group, gold is up more than 30%. So don't wait. Call 877-444-GOLD, 877-444-GOLD, or text GOLD to 65532. Again, that's 877-444-GOLD, or text GOLD to 65532. Time now for the O'Reilly Update message of the day. Listeners, sound off. We do this every Friday. You can reach me, Bill, at BillO'Reilly.com. Bill at BillO'Reilly.com. Just shoot off a note, and I could read your letter. Let's go to Kathleen, San Antonio, Texas. Clearly, the chairman of the House Judiciary Committee is delusional when he said the riots in Portland, Oregon are a, quote, myth. Well, you'd be talking about Congressman Jerry Nadler from New York. And Mr. Nadler is not delusional. He is just a fanatical, and I mean that literally, partisan. So Nadler knows, and all the members of the Democratic Party know, that violent protests are not helping the Dems. They're not going to help Joe Biden win the presidency. So the issue is to downplay them. Now, Nadler, of course, takes it to the extreme by calling it a myth Well, we have eyes, Congressman. We can see. Let's go to Judy in Jackson, New Jersey. I think Attorney General Barr, the hearing, was an attempt to discredit him. And the reason is, if he is defamed, then the Durham report might not mean as much. Well, you're onto something, Judy. The Durham report is the investigation by the Justice Department about Russian collusion and the phony FBI warrants. And it's going to be embarrassing to the Democratic Party and to the media. Going to really embarrass the media. Now, the word is that the Justice Department will release some of its findings and maybe indictments, because there were laws broken, before Labor Day. But you never know about these things because it is, the Durham report, a direct attack on the swamp. And the FBI is part of the swamp. Joe in Las Vegas, Nevada. The president should call out Joe Biden in public to sit down for interviews with people like you, Bill. If he cannot answer tough questions, how can he run a country? Well, a lot of politicians, Joe, dodge tough interviews. I don't expect Joe Biden to sit down with me or anybody who would challenge him. He's already turned down Chris Wallace. Biden basically is coasting, and he's staying away from any confrontations. He's in his house. You know, he's a COVID risk guy, so I don't blame him. But he could do virtual interviews from his basement. But he's not going to do it unless he has to. The real telltale here are the 3 debates. So a lot of people say, well, Biden's not going to show up. He has to show up. I think he'd lose the election if he didn't show up. But Donald Trump's got to be disciplined in those debates. But they are going to be very important. Tim is in Charlotte, North Carolina. I must disagree with you, Bill, on support for BLM signs, banners, etc. The Black Lives Matter organization and the slogan, for the most part, are based on a false narrative. I'm not going to buy into the false narrative on Black Lives Matter and protesting police brutality toward people of color. I think those protests are valid. But the Black Lives Matter organization, you're absolutely right, Tim, is a Marxist outfit that wants to overthrow the United States of America. I'm Bill O'Reilly, and I approve that message by actually putting it together. Please go to BillO'Reilly.com for honest coverage and join our Stand Up for America campaign. In a moment, something you might not know. How bad is your back, knee, or neck pain? Mine was pretty bad. I played 4 sports when I was younger, and it's catching up with me now. I tried a lot of stuff to manage the pain. Ointments, pain relievers, fish oil, nothing worked. So a doctor friend of mine recommended Omega XL, and here's why. The underlying cause of painful, achy joints and muscles is inflammation. The key to knock down inflammation before it causes damage is backed by 35 years of research, and that's what Omega XL does. The doctor also says, quote, I can't write any prescription that comes close to what Omega XL accomplishes. She was right. So if you're suffering with painful, achy joints and muscles, stop wasting money and switch to Omega XL. Order Omega XL now and get a second bottle free. Visit OmegaXL.com/Bill, OmegaXL.com/Bill, or you can call 800-844-4888, 800-844-4888. Now the O'Reilly Update brings you something you might not know. In 1966, the Beatles were the most popular band in America. The Fab Four already had 12 number 1 hits here and more than 30 tunes in the top 10. Of course, they were from England. That all changed with just one sentence. In March of '66, John Lennon told a London reporter, quote, we're more popular than Jesus now. Lennon also said, quote, Christianity will go. It will vanish and shrink. I needn't argue about that. I'm right, and I'll be proved right, unquote. He was wrong. Now, fans in America, at least some of them, erupted at the blasphemy. When the Beatles hit the road that summer, 1966, protests followed them everywhere, particularly in the Deep South. In Alabama, radio stations refused to play Beatles songs. Local disc jockeys Doug Layton and Tommy Charles initiated the statewide Beatle boycott. People publicly burned their records, posters, concert tickets in town squares. A prominent preacher in Birmingham labeled Lennon the, quote, devil incarnate, saying no true Christian should listen to Satan's music. Lennon himself eventually issued multiple apologies. Quote, in reference to England, we meant more to kids than Jesus did, or religion at that time. I wasn't knocking it or putting it down. I was just saying it as a fact. And it's more true for England than here, meaning the USA, unquote. John Lennon's comments even prompted death threats and forced the band to conceal their travel schedule as they toured the USA. And here's something else you might not know. The fallout from Lennon's interview was so bad that the band never toured again. According to their manager, the group was deeply scarred from their experience in Alabama. The Beatles' final show of the '66 USA tour was in San Francisco, and it was the last time the Beatles ever took the stage for a live concert anywhere. The group would release 5 more records before breaking up 3 years later. Back after this. There are thousands of abandoned animals in the USA that need our help. I am partnering with Delta Rescue, the largest no-kill care-for-life animal sanctuary in the world. Founded by actor Leo Grillo, who left Hollywood to devote his life to saving abandoned animals, Delta Animal Sanctuary is a one-of-a-kind rescue unit. They are staffed by trained attendants who look after each animal, providing them water, treats, toys, and affection. Support Delta Rescue and put your legacy to work. Each life-saving gift helps Delta fulfill their mandate to rescue and care for animals. Request a free estate planning package at deltarescue.org/bill. For a limited time, please watch The Rescuer for free only at deltarescue.org/bill. The Rescuer is an award-winning documentary about Grillo's 2-year rescue of a family of 21 dogs abandoned in the wilderness. deltarescue.org/bill. Thank you for listening to the O'Reilly Update. I am Bill O'Reilly. No spin, just facts, and always looking out for you.